Hi,
No, please
everybody.
don't. Hey, everybody. We got in there. We got Mr. Ron. What's up, Ron? Paranormal Playground. Hey, Corey, Sam, Matthew. If I missed anybody, we'll give time for more people to vote. Miss Patty's in here.
White Wolf.
White Wolf's in here.
Matt, my brother. Ron Weasley, what's going on, dude?
Ron,
Paranormal
what's up?
Playground. Corey, hey.
What's going on,
Paranormal Playground, what's the deal?
Sean, hey, Sean.
Sean's here.
Wow,
Sean's in the
Sean's
house.
Sam. Hey, Sam. Hey, Nana Doris.
That was me. I'm
Hey,
sorry.
Doris.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Hey, Doris.
I know, soft spoken by my angle. People don't know that kind of shit in my video.
Hey, exploring
I tell nobody else
How's
something.
it going?
Hey, Corey.
Ghost Mama, what's up?
Hey, Sam.
I shared you out, so I knew I was going to come up here. So.
Hey, Tanya.
Hey, Second Star.
No, yeah.
Jason, what's up, dude?
Give everybody a few minutes to.
Matt, what's up?
Said her highs.
My brother, Matt. Hello, buddy.
All right, Paranormal Playground. I like your videos, you know what I mean? Like,
Mark B, hey, honey.
they're awesome.
Hey, while we're up here, I just want to kind of say something. I want everybody to know Mark B's wife is very sick. She has a GoFundMe page. If I'm not mistaken, she has a bone marrow problem, and they're trying to raise like $48,000 to help her. If any of you know anything about bone marrow, it will slowly kill you.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark. Praying for you, brother.
And, I just want everybody to send some prayers out. If you can go check out his GoFundMe page, please do. Every little bit counts. Every little bit counts. We're a community here. We're supposed to be a family.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to donate when I get paid. I just haven't got paid yet. I'm going to put some kind of something in there for him. But if you
Yeah, whether it's $1, $5, whatever y'all can do to help out. Jason, I'll head over there after we get done here.
Yeah.
I'll do it
Hey,
too.
Mark.
Just send me that link.
My prayers, love.
I will. Next month.
Can we put the link in here? Can we put the GoFundMe link in the stream red run?
Mark might be able to. Is he a mod? Do you have Mark a mod? If he's a mod,
he should be a mod. I'm pretty sure I made him a mod.
You guys, if it's only $1, every dollar counts. $5, it doesn't matter. This money adds up. If you got enough help, money does add up. Just know that we love you, Mark, and we're trying to look out for you, and and bless you and your wife, and I hope everything works out for you.
It's the weather.
What weather? What's the outside?
Yep, we lost Jax again.
We got it.
So, anyways, I know there's still more people coming, but you already got some people up here in chat. Why don't you go ahead and start telling people about where you're from and a little bit about your channel?
Okay. Well, I'm Toby Gamble, and my channel is Empires of the Lost with Toby. And my channel is basically paranormal, but I also do explore and also historical videos as well. So it's not just based on paranormal. So I like it all. So I do anything that I possibly can.
That's awesome. So, how long have you been ghost hunting?
I've been ghost hunting for about maybe I want to say about 4 months now, so I'm pretty new at it. But I've always been interested in the paranormal since I was a child.
Oh, so you've had an experience as a child.
Oh yes, very much so.
Go ahead, and tell me about that.
Well, it first started when I was a teenager, and my brother had a haunted house, which I didn't know was a haunted house to begin with until later on that day when I went over to see him, and I was sitting on a couch and was both watching TV, and then I heard this clunk up in the attic, and I asked him, "So who's upstairs?" He said, "Nobody's upstairs. Don't worry about it." So I heard something go bam, next it was a louder noise. I said, "Ronnie, what the hell is the noise?" He says, "It's a ghost. Don't worry about it." I looked at him, he looked at me, and I took myself right upstairs because I was curious. He just like he was pulling my leg, so I went to look. I went upstairs, I got up to the attic, I pulled the ladder down, walked up the ladder, and I'm looking around in there, and the first thing I see is a wheelchair, an old one. And I looked at this wheelchair, and I started getting like chills on my arms and stuff, which felt kind of weird, especially if you've never seen a ghost before. But I looked at the wheelchair, and that wheelchair came from the wall as fast as it could toward my head. And I ducked just in time for the wheelchair to hit the hole. And I got out of there, and I went downstairs, and I told my brother, I said, "Next time you need to tell me that you have damn spirits in this house. There's ghosts up there, dude. I mean, they're throwing stuff." He's like, "I told you not to worry about it." And I said, "Yeah, I know better to come back in here." So I just left the house and never went back to that house. It spooked me out. It's just like, wow, what the hell was that all about? And
Normally when you have stuff start flying, it's like either a cross between poltergeist, or it could be something like a negative spirit, or what somebody would call a demon, which they're not always demons. But go ahead, finish your story.
Yeah, I just think in that house, the house had history in the town. There's a lot of people that died in it. I found out later, and I don't think there was any stuff like murders or anything like that. It's just people had passed away. It was handed down from generation to generation. And something was angry up there because they were angry that I stuck my head up in the attic where it shouldn't belong. So yeah, I just left the house. I'm like, I'm not going back in there, and never did. And then I had, my mom had passed away not too long ago. I was 18 years old, and you could feel her presence in the house that we were living in at the time, and that kind of got my curiosity going as a ghost hunter and or paranormal investigator, I should say. But I had that, and then my wife, not Lori, but my wife before that, had passed away of cancer, and then my two brothers not too far from that. And after that, I started feeling, when my wife passed away, I knew that she was still there because you can just feel the energy, and just hearing things move, the stuff that moves off counters and stuff like that shouldn't be moving. TV's coming on when you turn them on.
Eli, can you see that up above his head?
I actually can. I have a feeling like mine's just
there's a female presence with you. It's like I've been feeling it ever since like we got on. I've been feeling a female presence.
It just feels to me it's like my vision just goes like a line. That's all it does. Have you ever been scratched?
No. No, I haven't been scratched.
Sorry.
That's all right.
When you feel this presence, do you hear any voices, or do you hear any any coat spots around you?
More cold spots than anything. No voices or anything like that. But you can feel a cold spot or a gust of wind that you know that's not there.
Yeah.
Well, you think about it, like I mean, with spirits, you know, because I died and I came back and I knew how it felt to be a spirit, and like most spirits are when they're stuck in their time or in their loop or whatever it is, like they're mainly just want to get out and go back to their families. And I mean, I know how it feels to be agitated as a spirit and just want to just talk to you guys.
Right,
Some spirits, I don't know if it's poltergeist or not, but they move things. I mean, so could a spirit, because as a spirit, they use their mind
right,
to move things.
right,
That's what I did.
right.
When I was dead, and I still remember every time I did it. But at the same time, like I just think maybe you need to like maybe give a peace offering or maybe communicate more with your wife that passed away. I'm sorry for your loss.
I
Um,
think
or anyone that's there um, that you think is menacing. Like a peace offering, like I said a second ago, that would really help out too.
yeah. Okay, well, I appreciate that. I'll take that as note.
Okay.
But
So
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, go ahead. Go ahead, finish.
Oh, no, I was going to say that there are. I have come in encounter with both sides, positive and negative entities, and I think my personal experience is what I call limbo. I think a lot of spirits are trapped in that limbo for a reason, and I just don't think they can get out. I think I guess you would call it, their sort of hell in a
Yeah.
way. But I call it limbo because I think that they can move and travel, but they are stuck in certain spots, and they just cannot ascend or descend. They're
Well,
just
I mean, I could tell you about that. Like, I mean, when I was then, like, I mean, I feel like I was stuck like that too. I went to one place to another, one place to another, one place to one hell to another.
right,
So I mean, that's annoying, but they're not doing it on purpose to you.
right.
It's just help me. Like, I
Hmm.
mean, they're driving themselves crazy because all they want to do is go to a comfortable place. So they're looking for, I guess, your guidance, but
Right.
their mind is so scrambled that they're moving things. It's just sort of like you're swimming, and like you're just panicking just to get out of the
Hmm.
water. That's how it is. That's how I experienced it as a spirit.
Yeah. I mean, it's all kind of different. Like this barn we just did. There were growls in there. I mean, you can hear them as plain as
Yeah.
day. I mean, there's no doubt in that. But there was also talking when we're in the middle of the woods. There's nobody there, but you can hear as clear as
Mm.
day people having a conversation, men and women having a conversation. There's a house on the property. It was really, I mean, it was real active. I mean, you could hear people talking. I mean, it's like, okay, do we have squatters here? So we went to look around. There's nobody there. But we caught this on video. I mean, it's there.
Yeah, I seen that video. He did it with MJC Paranormal.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Maybe like it's not native land from back then. Have you ever done a research on it?
I went to research it online, and the only thing we come up with is who owns the property now. There's no more history of it.
Wow.
Nobody don't know who owned it, who passed away there, nothing.
But you think about it, like I mean, at a certain time of the decades, like before the 1800s, like they didn't have no records.
Yeah,
Um, so maybe you might need to go a little bit further up to do a little bit more history on the place.
yeah.
Maybe the next
I
town
would
up.
like to because
That would,
there's definitely something there. There's something
yeah.
going on. I mean, there's spirits out there that are wanting help. They just don't know how to get it.
There must be like oh man, there must be some kind of like native family or something. I mean, there's something. I mean, I just have a feeling there's something that can be helped with that. And there
Yeah.
could be some women that died there a long time ago.
Oh
You know
yeah.
what I mean? That you hear them. It's just like you say, they're stuck. They're
Yeah.
stuck in the time because they don't know what happened to them. So they're stuck, and they're looking for help, but they're asking the wrong way. You know, that's why it's always good. You know, like um, to for us paranormal, or for y'all paranormal investigators, to maybe like see how they feel, but sort of like you can't. But I know how it feels to be a spirit. So I mean, like for me in my own way, I would want to. I know how they feel. I would want to understand them. I
Mhm.
would research how you can help and what's going on. You know.
Right. Hi EBR. Sorry.
Do you have any kind of gifts? Like, are you sensitive to ghosts or
I
um
you know
anything, any type of thing that you feel like, that whenever you go out ghost hunting, that helps you along your journey?
well I think my belief in what I believe in is not for everybody, but I believe in Norse gods. You know, and I'm Swedish, so I'm kind of like geared toward that way. And I wear a lot of stuff for protection when I go out, like crystals and whatnot. But you know, that's a good question, and I'm not sure how to answer that. But I always believe if you're going to do something like this, no matter what you believe in, carry protection of some sort.
Oh
It's
yeah.
very
Do you have any? You can also look up to see if you have any stores where you can buy crystals and stuff like that. I don't
oh
know in your area.
yeah. I usually research that and see if they have what I need to use. And there's a couple in here in Greensboro that do
Welcome back.
supply crystals.
Maybe. Oh no.
How about getting like a crucifix or something, and maybe get it blessed by the church.
I knew that was going to come. Well, for me, I don't be offended by what I'm about to say, but
No, no, man.
okay, because
Maybe now. I don't
there's
know.
people the people that believe that way. I just don't believe that way with crucifixion belief, and
No, I
crosses and
understand.
stuff. But I don't want nobody to be offended because if that's what works for you, do it.
I say like this: people don't believe in that. There's always a higher power that you believe in that can get you through
Right.
the moment in the time. I mean, it doesn't have to. You don't have to believe in like the Catholic Church or Jesus or I mean, but it's the higher power.
Right.
Whatever makes you feel comfortable, brother.
Right.
That's
That's what I say. Whatever makes you comfortable. Well, always, no matter what you do, bring in some kind of protection because some of these spirits are not nice. They will chuck a chair at you.
Shucks.
They will chuck a chair at you. They'll chuck a table, boards, bricks, rocks. They don't give a damn.
maybe.
I've had it done.
Have you ever thought about uh like I was saying, do an offering, like talk to them before you go in the building and say I'm
Oh
here
yeah,
to investigate, and
yes,
give them their peace and love, their loving and peace, and tell them, hey, like I mean, I'm here as a man of love and peace, and so on and so
right,
on. I mean, I
right.
never investigated to be honest, but I've seen investigators do it. I've
Hmm.
seen how they succeeded it. I mean, sometimes.
Yeah, I've always done that when I go into investigations. I let the spirits know, hey, I'm here just to get answers, just like anybody else. I want to know about you when you was living, but please don't follow me and my, whoever's with me, or if I'm by myself, don't follow me home.
That
They,
don't always work.
yeah, I know, but I kind of draw the line with them, business-like fashion, just like I would anybody else that's living.
Right.
So you
What's the
show me
first?
respect, I show you respect.
Yeah. Okay. What's the first thing you look at when you enter a property? Like,
I check the property for people that's not supposed to be there, squatters, teenagers that are spray painting stuff up. stuff like that. I make sure the place is safe before I even go near it.
Hey, what's up, EBR? How about do you carry any radios with you or cell phone just in case you get stuck there or you get hurt? Any
Yeah, I carry my cell phone.
like a cell phone?
Yeah.
What's your favorite equipment to use when you go out ghost hunting?
That's a good question there. I think my favorite, believe it or not, is the Ghost Tube. The app called Ghost Tube. Yeah, and I also like dowsing rods. Spirit boxes, I can go either way. I mean, because if a spirit wants to talk to you, they're going to talk to you.
Oh,
You
yeah.
don't need nothing. So, but most thing that I like to carry, and then people use phones as cameras, but I like to use my camcorder, and I just put it on night vision if you're at your night, and just go to town. And I just start asking them questions, normal. How long you been here? Things like that. Did you live here or work here? Did you pass away from here? Right here.
Yeah.
Simple questions that the people are going to know how to answer you. I mean, sometimes I don't think these spirits have been there so long they don't know what a cell phone looks like. So they're not going to recognize that. So you've got to be old school sometimes. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this is the rotary phone. Can you talk to it?
Nerd.
I have my doubts about the spearing rod, the dowsing rods, and I'm gonna tell you why. I mean, for some things here and there, okay, but it's not just through the dowsing rods. It can be done through the necrophonic or any kind of spirit box that you use.
Right.
But spirits, to me, they're liars, just like real people are.
Yep.
You're not always guaranteed to get an honest answer out of a spirit. And we've, you as a ghost hunter and me and my husband as a ghost hunter, we've come to realize that, you're not always going to get the truthful answer out of them. But we've been lied to a lot through the dowsing rods. And we just kind of, we still have them. We still use them from time to time.
Right.
But we've kind of backed off from the dowsing rods a little because it just, we've had some bad experiences with them. And
I can understand that.
so
Okay.
it's just, I mean, I'd like the cahoots to whoever wants to use them. If people believe in them, everybody's got their own beliefs.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people that don't like using necrophonic because they said it was made by a game system. I don't know if you know about that, but whoever made the Xbox also made the necrophonic app. And I'm like, okay, so what? I'm thinking Spirit's going to use whatever it has or whatever you have in your hand to talk to you with.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if you can put a Monopoly game in the middle of the floor. They're going to want to play Monopoly.
Yeah, they well, I could tell you, we like the necrophonic. My husband has also recently bought the Miracle Box.
Oh, okay.
It's a $3. That's a Huff thing, Huff Paranormal.
Mm-hmm.
That's his creation or whatever.
Like the portal.
Yeah, something like that. It sounds like to me, you can hear some answers that come through. They sound clear, but a lot of it to me sounds like gibberish. I can't understand it.
Yep.
And I told him, I said, I do not like that app. I said, I'd rather use necrophonic all day long.
Yeah.
But I'm sensitive to ghosts. My husband sees them.
Oh, wow.
I feel their feelings. My ears, you know how people carry K2 meters?
Yeah.
My ears are our K2 meters.
Oh, wow.
If a ghost is circling me, both of my ears will be ringing nonstop. If they're on my left side or right side, they're going to be on my right. My ear right here starts beeping at me. If it's on my left side, vice versa. You understand?
Yeah, I have been getting the ear ringing lately. But
you listen to it because it's trying to tell you that the ghosts are around. That's exactly what it's doing. That's what happens to me when I'm out ghost hunting. And so we use, whenever I tell the ghost, I said, whenever you want me to stop, or whenever we go into like a really large graveyard, whenever you want me to stop, make my ear ring twice. And my ear rings twice, and we stop, and that's normally where we get the good communication and the ghost interact with us.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So we enjoy going out and doing what we do. We do ghost hunting, Bigfoot hunting, it all. We've met some amazing people on this journey too, and it's from YouTube. Like this man sitting over here, that side.
That side. Wrong man, lucky.
I'm telling you that we consider ourselves lucky to have met him. When he went out under with COVID, me, Billy, Jax, Jason, we all felt like we lost a part of us because he was gone from us. And you don't find friends like that. You don't find family like that. There's people that you meet offline. The way we feel when Eli was going through what he was going through, we were all like down in the dumps. And you'll meet some amazing people up here. You just gotta really listen to people and watch people to know if they're legit, if they're true or not.
Right.
So, but I can tell you this group that you got in this chat and the people that you have up on panel, you always have friends in us, and we're only a phone call away.
That's good to know. That is really good to know.
Only a phone call away. But go ahead.
I just say I need friends, and the more the merrier.
Yep.
Yeah, man, friends are real. Like, I know we all had troubles in life with friends, and some were there, some were gone, but most of it you meet online. You really do. It's dangerous, but yeah. The
He's
young
right,
people.
He's right.
Yeah. So what do you think about Ouija boards?
That's a no. That is a no-go for me. No,
Firm believer. No.
No.
Why it's a no-go for me? Okay, people do not. Okay, some people, not all. Some people do not understand what they're dealing with when they bring out a Ouija board. It is not a toy in any way. Yeah, it was. This thing was made and created back in the Middle Ages time that people just don't know. Okay, it was made in my people's time. They were used for conjuring, and when you conjure something you don't know what you're conjuring up, that brings in a whole can of worms, and that's a nice way of saying it. Shit just hits the fan. I don't condone people to ever use a Ouija board in any investigation, because if you bring something in there, if you're doing someone's house and they have kids and you bring a Ouija board in there, that opens up harm to the children, to the wife, to you, and it can eventually, I truly believe it can kill. So I stay away from them. I don't even deal with them. I've had a couple of friends that wanted to do investigations with me, and they said, "What do you mind if we do a Ouija board session?" I said, well, "It's not happening." I know, no, and no. So
do you believe like maybe you have some sort of attachment to? I know you said your wife passed. Do you think that she's attached to something, or maybe you?
Do I? I think in some part, yes. Memory-wise, yes.
So you're saying that you can't. So it's like, am I saying? Maybe I'm thinking wrong, but is it sort of like you're attached? You can't let her go yet, or is it some deep part?
I think she can't let go.
She can't let go. Yeah, because it's hard. You know what I mean? It's hard to let go of the body you once lived in, and seeing you, being, being so devoted to her and everything else. And it's you don't see many men like that these days.
No, you sure don't.
She must have been an awesome woman, dude. I feel that.
She was very kind. No one else would replace her. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
I know the subject of passing is very hard to deal with everyone. And I guess that's what part where I decided, hey, I need answers. I want answers to what happens after I pass. What goes on after that? Do I go and get reincarnated to another body? Live out a lesson until I get it right, or do I just not get created again, or do I get created into an animal? Who knows? But I want to know those answers. I want to know how that works.
Well, every spirit's different. Like I'm not with mine. Like I just lived. I just lived this like a certain time of period that like just basically everybody was just trying to harm me.
Right.
Like I mean, just constant, just loop, just constant loop. And maybe it was just my lesson of not living right. But I'm just like I wasn't a bad guy. Like man, why did I deserve that?
Right.
Like, you know, I seen all my loved ones, but when you die, you forget about everybody. You forget about all your belongings. You forget your loved ones, you know. But you see them, but you don't remember them, but you sort of do. But I don't know. Every spirit's different when they die. Mine was different, you know.
I think after time, like so long after their past, they start forgetting more and more.
Yeah.
Is what I think.
Mine was. It was just like.
So is there any place, like any place in this world, it don't even have to be inside the United States, but is there a place that you have always wanted to go investigate?
Oh yes, there's actually a couple places in Ireland and Scotland outside the United States I want to go to. Inside the United States, there's one coming up that me and Mason is going to go to, and they say that place is pretty freaking haunted. It's called. What was that? What's it called? Banner Elk Hospital in North Carolina. It's up in the mountains. It's like 2 hours from here where I live. They say this place will set you on edge. They have doors slamming. They have apparitions, full body apparitions walking around in nurse uniforms, doctor uniforms, and walking from room to room. Stuff flying, debris flying, walking, talking, the whole 9 yards. So I think this is, other than this ship that I'm about to go on, which is supposed to be really haunted too, but they say this one cuts the cake.
Right.
So.
Okay, what's the scariest place you ever been to?
Oh my goodness! Right now, that barn is top number one. That family farm there that way I found, and I think that's number one. Number two would be the Trivet Clinic in North Carolina. It's really active. They claim to have like 70 spirits in that place, and I can believe it. I mean, we've had the rocking chair in there, rocked by itself. Orbs about big as softballs. We've seen apparitions in there. People talking. I mean, coming clear over the EVPs and all kinds of stuff.
That mill was pretty scary, though.
It's pretty scary. I mean, you think, okay, this is just a building, looks like a house. How hard can it be? How scary can it be? Oh, it definitely put some thoughts in my mind of like, okay, some of these spirits in here are not to be dealt with, personally as a nice spirit. There's some in there that's pretty rude.
Oh yeah.
How does it feel? Like I mean, to actually go in there and like get thrown, like just the things getting thrown at you, and like, what's your first thought, and what is your first next step? I mean, imagine if you're in the middle of nowhere and everything was just flying at you. I mean, I'm not saying everything, but
Yeah.
what would you do to give me an example about that? What would you do?
My first thought is like, my first thought would be like, okay, what the hell just happened? Where'd that come from? I'd be finding out what direction it came from. And then I'd say, okay, let's go over here and find out what's going on. Because I'm like that. I just like to say, okay, is someone in the building or did that really actually fly by my head? So I've had cases where rocks been thrown. Okay, there's nobody there, but this rock came straight in front of my face on the side of my head and went by. So my first thought is, okay, there's something here that's pissed off. Why are you pissed off? Why are you throwing rocks? I would ask them just like a human, just like somebody was living. Why are you pissed off? Why are you throwing rocks at me, man? That's rude. Just treat them like they were human, because they were at one time. They had to be a reason why they're throwing rocks. They want you to get the hell out of there. That's pretty simple. But
kind of like a Bigfoot. They throw rocks at you to get you away because they're getting too close.
Do you take a first aid kit with you?
I'm sorry.
Do you take a first aid kit with you?
I got one in my vehicle. Yes.
Okay. There's been a lot of investigators where they actually search a building before they start investigating, just in case there's any homeless people over there or anything trying to say, "Hey, get out of my house." Basically, like it's kind of hard to get mistaken a little bit, but you can feel the heaviness. Have you ever felt the heaviness where it feels like you're getting pressed down on?
Not so much that, but I can feel like there's pressure in the air, like it's thick.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start hearing things like people walking, and I'm like, okay, we're not alone. Be on the lookout. So there's that, and then there's the cold. It's always cold. It's always cold breezes that either go by you, or there's a coldness that's stationary, and it'll be 90 degrees outside. It'll be hot as hell, but there's always this cold, and you usually hear spirits sometimes say, "I'm cold." So you think to yourself, there's something to do with the heat outside your body. You're going to be cold.
I'll ask you a question. Like, I know there's demonic spirits and spirits, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, could you say you knew the difference between them?
Yeah, there's definitely a difference between them. Yeah.
The heaviness.
The heaviness, and also there's something else too, because I'm trying to explain how it affects me when I know that it's demonic or just a negative spirit. Demonic is that you hear the growls at first, and then you start feeling like you're in ultimate danger. There's that, like if someone's holding a gun to you, it's right their life. It's that kind of feeling. It's like you're about to get whacked out. You're about to, lose your life. And I've had a couple of those, come into effect. But with me, I'm like, okay, are you just faking it, just to scare me, or what? Or can you just talk to me like a man, or beast, for that matter?
I was told that a demonic spirit, like they hold that spirit there, like man, there could be someone that got murdered and he is just tormenting that person he killed, and he can pretend to be something that he's not, like an evil spirit. Could that be possible?
I believe so, because I believe demons use children's voices and children's actions to portray that they're innocent when they're not.
Yeah.
I also believe there are spirits that, like you said, are being held in spot, and for learning something that's, it's kind of strange, because here's a little story on the farm. After me and Mason almost got done with that investigation, we left the house. We came out of the bushes. All of a sudden, we heard two women say this exact words. It said, "That was easy, boss."
Wow.
So with that in mind, I'm thinking to myself, okay, this demon is actually trying to teach them how to be negative.
Yeah.
He's got them there by the, you know, by the, excuse me, the expression, by the balls,
Mhm.
you know, and saying, hey, this is the way it's going to roll. When you're going to be in my territory, this is how it's going to work. It's almost like a game related thing, and it's strange. And I sometimes I don't know how to deal with that, but I'm very calm in a lot of situations. I don't freak out. I don't know why. I've always been like that. I just don't freak out. If something gets thrown, I go find out why it's thrown. If they
He
growl,
faces danger.
I
yeah,
know, right?
yeah. If they get pissed off and say something to me like "f you," I was like, "Why do you guys say that? I didn't cuss at you. Why did you just cuss at me?"
We gotta watch out too because evil spirits can they can try to take over your body,
Mhm.
so they can take over what your emotions and your act, just
Right,
everything involved with that. And um, that's one thing that I had never seen, only in the movies or
right,
um, I know that living in a negative space can also make you negative and paranoid,
right,
and think like, oh my god, like, am I gonna die here or am
right,
I gonna survive?
right.
And how to get rid of those spirits out of my house, or attachments, or or how can I communicate with the loved ones that are being tormented with those spirits there, so I can
Mhm.
go be with my family
Right.
instead of be miserable.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah, I think the viewpoint of that is this: the more you let them do that, the more they will. If you tell them that's not happening here, you're not doing it that in my house or anybody else's house. So there's the door. Get your ass out of here. I'm not saying taunt. I'm not saying taunt the evil spirits or negative spirits or demons, whatever. Don't ever do nothing like that. But you need to speak with authority in everything that you do in an investigation. I mean, it's not saying, hey, I'll kick your ass. Don't ever do stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if you tell them, hey, I'm doing this investigation. This is my thing,
Hmm. Yeah.
and I just want answers. If you give me those answers, I'll leave.
It's sort of saying, hey, this is my space,
Right?
back off.
Yeah.
I respect your space. I'm
You
being
respect mine.
good to you, so
Yeah.
why not be good to me? And if you don't feel like answering me, fine, move an object, knock
Exactly.
on the wall, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? If you don't feel like talking to me, I mean,
Exactly.
that's what I want to understand is like, when they talk to you, they don't have a vocal voice anymore or anything. Like,
Right.
how is that? I don't. That's something
I
that I
think.
don't understand.
I think. Now it's my personal opinion. Everybody. I think whatever everybody believes is a demon or a negative entity, they have what they call telepathy. I
Mm-hmm.
think they do a lot of stuff with their minds, their hands, and things like that. But as far as speech, they don't have it. And that's just my personal opinion on that. I think there's a lot of powers that people don't believe is that exist. They do have it.
Well, man, I mean, how do they speak through like the spirit box? I still don't understand it, like, because I hear I see all these voices coming out of there and everything else. How can you explain something like that? And like, I was watching Hawk's video, and you could see like a old car in the graveyard, like, or I know me and Hawk seen a nurse,
Mm-hmm.
with a hat on, and then all of a sudden it's gone. I mean, things are unexplainable that you can't understand, especially with the spirit box.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, like, I don't know. I mean, I'm looking for answers too. I'm looking
yeah,
for the unexplainable.
right,
I'm looking for the truth of, like, why do we exist? Why? I mean, why? How can we help them to better understand that they're not dead, they're alive, but with that, we're here to help them, communicate with their loved ones so they can move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good question, man. I mean, I don't know how to answer that. I just know that these people, when they pass on, they either stuck or they have ascended, and I mean ascended by whatever we want to call it. I mean, we call it heaven, call it going to the light, or you're stuck. You're stuck here, and I don't know how people. I don't know if it's a lesson that they need to learn to be able to move things. You see a lot of these movies like Ghost, for example.
Mm-hmm.
He'd be able to move the penny, let her know that he was still there. Who knows? We're never going to find that out until it's our time.
But you think about it, spirits have energy. Like, I mean, yeah, they can use their mind and everything, but they could use their energy to uh, influence the gravity of this. Like, I can't explain. It's sort of like,
Physical world.
yeah, the room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they can use that to move something, but it's very hard, because
Yeah.
they only have limited of
Ability.
strength to do it, and that's one thing. I mean, I never done, but I'm still want to know, how do you do that? Like, is it? I mean, do you really come back with superpowers if you die and come back? I mean, and how do you gain them as well? Like, I mean, there's so much I want to know. I mean, about the other side, and I mean, it's crazy.
There's so many questions that everybody in this kind of field have. I mean, you can take it as far as you want as far like having the third eye. Some people don't know what that is. That's intelligence opening up that you don't know you have. Telekinesis. Moving things without even touching them. There's a whole new ball game, which I think is in this spiritual world that we don't know of.
Yeah. But here's what I understand is like mirrors.
Mhm.
Take that. Just take that for So you're looking at a mirror. Let's say you go to a haunted place. You look in the mirror and you see a face right there in the mirror. Like you're thinking, is there someone here, or is that just someone's sort of like something? They're stuck in that mirror in that same time, and there's no way you can help them get out of that mirror. Like, I mean, I don't understand that. I mean, are they attached to it?
Yeah,
I mean,
I believe they are.
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's just like dolls, mirrors. They say mirrors are portals. Do we actually know that? No, but
Yeah.
I've seen people take equipment and run it across a mirror and get a strong reading. There'll be no electricity in the house and get a total strong reading of a mirror.
Portal.
Yeah, so I believe they're portals. I mean, they can move from place to place inside the house, outside the house, what it may be. But that's just the way I believe. But I think a lot of spirits, a lot of them are attached to certain items that they loved in life, or they just love in general.
So, okay, so you're saying like, let's say there's a box. Let's say like it's a radio. I love that radio so much.
Right.
Am I always next to it, or you're haunting the whole house, or is it in that little environment, like the room? Like, how does that work? Do you think? What do you think about that?
I think if they are attached to something, it's focused in that one room. Okay, doesn't mean they can't travel outside of the object, but it just means that whole focus is on that room where that object's always been. That's my belief.
Okay, so Doris has a question for you. She says, do you think spirits live in the time that they died or in the now?
That's a good question. I think they are living in the time that they passed away. That's what I believe. They don't. If you can ask a spirit what year is it now? You get no
Several.
answer. No answer. But
Well,
they can sure give you an answer of when they lived at one time.
Well, I mean, how I experienced it, it's different with everybody, you know. How I
Mhm.
experienced it is you no longer like when you die, you're always focused on another place and another time.
Right.
There's no your old house anymore. There's not any of that, you know, and it's a different place, but same people,
Right.
you know, different people, you know, there's never, to me, I was never here. Well, there was one instance I was here, and there was this one lady, she was all like talking to me, and we're just kicking it, you know, I was floating in the air, you know, it was this
Yeah.
house, and then she goes, and I said, man, I'm home. She goes, you're not home yet. She goes, there's a lot you got to see.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know. I don't know about that question. All I know is you're always when you're always traveling place to place, place to place, place to place.
Mhm.
Well, some people get stuck in one little place. Now that's considered fucked, man. You're fucked, basically.
Yeah. That's
You
it.
know, I mean, but I'd rather be traveling from place to place, place to place, and still, you know, thinking, well, if I go back to that place, maybe I can change that, and maybe I could go back home to my body. So I don't know if they're doing that or they're just. I mean, it's out of what I was saying, but
Right.
it just makes me think.
Oh yeah.
So I have something I want to say. You guys were talking about how spirits talk or whatever,
Mhm.
you know, and me and my husband, we've been doing ghost hunting since October of last year.
Okay.
And, you know, I was always told that the way that ghosts can talk, it's a manipulation of radio frequencies.
Correct. Mhm.
So that's why they call them EVPs or, you know, stuff like that. And I'm a true firm believer because you think about it, the necrophonic,
Yeah.
electronic
Yeah.
radio waves, you know, everything runs off of, you know, all that, right. But I do have another question for you too. If I was like somebody that just had stumbled upon your channel, okay, I'm a new subscriber, I want to subscribe to your channel, but I want to check your, you know, your footage out first.
Right.
What would be the video that you would tell me to go watch and why?
Put me on the spot with that one. Actually, I would recommend the segregated school video that we did. Me and Mason, MJC Paranormal. We at first we thought, okay, this is just a rundown school. Ain't gonna be nothing in there. No problem. Well, we found out twice. I mean, we went in there and it lit up like a Christmas tree. There was stuff there was doors slamming. I mean, slamming. And blinds are being pulled down from the inside, not the outside. You can hear voices, people talking, people walking. I mean, it was wild. But I recommend that one in general because it gives you a little bit of like proof. Hey, this is the real deal. This is not like magic strings and you know and pulling tables here left and right by somebody else. This is the real deal. I mean, me and Mason's been doing it for a while, and I told him, I said, I don't want to do no fake stuff.
No.
I don't, because that's just not me. I want the real deal. So if
Listen,
you're looking for the real deal, come to my channel.
right. So, you know, that, see, I kind of get what you're talking about there because my honest beliefs, if you're going to be paranormal entertainment, make sure you put the entertainment in your title.
Exactly.
Because you have a lot of people that out there that are legit.
Mm-hmm.
That everything that comes off of their videos is real. Nothing is faked.
Right.
And you know, you have people that's just coming on to your channel like, okay, is this real or is this like these other channels that
Right.
they're adding stuff or, you know, doing whatever to make it scary.
Right.
Well, Hawk Paranormal, you ain't gonna find nothing fake on our channel because everything that comes from us is real. My husband sees them. I'm sensitive, and my husband is getting really good at reading into spirits too.
Right.
I mean, eventually, will we like to go with no equipment whatsoever, just our cameras and us?
Mhm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But we want some more years under our belt to actually learn more about the spirit realm before we would try something like that. You know?
I totally agree with you.
So, But let's see what we got in the chat. See if anybody else has asked any more questions. Jax, we sure do miss you up here, honey.
I'm just here, just to, you know.
CJ, tell her Doris, say hi to everybody.
Hot girls, man.
Doris said,
Hello, everybody.
they fake it and they don't do a good job of faking. That's true, Doris. So very true.
Yeah.
Brenda, that talk we had a while back, how did my aunt know to come to you to talk? Because, Doris, I'm going to tell you something. That day, I'm going to tell you just like I tell anybody else. There'll be a lot of times where I'm sitting and having a normal conversation like I would with you or with Eli or with Jax or anybody. And then all of a sudden I get somebody that comes to me and speaks to me. And I could sit there and just sit there, tell them what I'm hearing. Can I see them like my husband can? No, but I can hear them. So I'm relaying messages back to what I'm hearing. So, I mean, that's the only thing I could tell you, Doris. I don't know. Maybe she knew that I have those abilities and she knew that I could talk to you. That's the only way that I could tell you. I don't know. I don't know how that stuff works. It just does.
I go by feeling. Like, what was that? What happened today? I was, man, you know, when my feeling comes back, when I came back, you know, thank you God for bringing me back. You know, God is good. But when I came back, you know, every time I sat by somebody, like I was sitting with my brother, you know, we're having his birthday, and I can feel his deep energy. Like I needed to tell him something, but then when he went away, he just went, just you know, just went, just whatever, you know. And whenever I sat next to everybody, it just that deep, like, oh my God, like I couldn't explain it. And I don't know what that means. I'm still trying to figure that out. It's like a heaviness next to that person. Is it because, I mean, that person is very negative, or they just don't know how to express their souls to others? Like, I don't know.
Right. Well,
It's like, sorry.
Well, go ahead. Because Sam's got a question for Toby.
Thanks, Sam.
He says, Toby, if you had to choose one paranormal investigator to collab with, who would it be anywhere in the world?
Oh my goodness. Well, I'll tell you this, Sam. It would be people like you and everybody else here, because we are the real deal.
Yeah.
You know, we're not TV prone, you know, superstars. You know, and I just don't. I'm not going for that with my channel, and I don't want to do that. I want to get real proof and real, the real deal thing. I don't need all the spotlight. I'm just a real person, just like anybody else, and that's
You struggle and
I hurt. I do everything that other people do. I mean, I don't want to be like. I don't want to drop names, so I'm not going to drop any names. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. There's certain YouTubers that are high ranked up there. I don't want to do that.
right.
I don't want to do that. I want to be me, you know, and I want to share a journey with all of you to experience my experience. That's what I want to be. What I want to be remembered by.
Exactly.
You're still always going to remember where you came from, even no matter how big you get. And that's what me and Hawk always say we're going to do too. Mm-hmm. No matter how big you get, you still remember where you come from.
Exactly.
You still remember the people that helped you get to where you are. And you don't get big headed when you start getting up there in 5, 6, 7,000 or up.
Yeah.
That's the way it should be. You should always remember where you come from, because those people are the ones that had your back all along that journey.
Yep.
That's right. And then I want to say something else too. There's a lot of people that has been doing YouTube for a while, and it gets. I understand if it gets to the point where you can't keep up with the people that are supporting you and that love you and they write to you. But I believe you should also make an attempt always to respond to the people who's been doing that for you for so long.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just say, "Hey, I appreciate you. I love you. You know, thank you for your support." It only takes a couple seconds. There's really, to me, there's no excuse for that. So as far as my channel goes, I will always continue to do that. I will make a comment of some sort.
Nice.
Eli Doris has got a question for you
Oh
too.
yeah, I just didn't want to interrupt him.
Oh no.
It's when after my experience, like my out of body experience and seen hell and heaven that I will explain on my live stream whenever I feel up to it. It changed my life forever. They always say, you have long time COVID or whatever. You know what I think it is? I think it's your inner self that's trying to make a different you, and it's the way you think that you will succeed in the better outcome of your life. That's what I always think. And with the abilities, it is more stronger. It feels like I'm missing something. I just can't pinpoint it. But I feel like it's like, I could feel when someone's mad. I could feel when someone's sad or they want to say something to me. It's getting stronger, and I can't explain that right now. It's like, I don't know. Like, I could feel when my daughter comes to the door knocking, I can feel that she's coming, and then I just open my door. It's like, hey, what do you want? You know what I mean? Like, because I don't want, when I'm doing this, I don't, I always have my time. I always, have time for myself. But like, I don't know how to explain that question. It's just, lately I just been talking about how a spirit thinks, because it's lonely. It's lonely being a spirit. It's lonely, everybody ignoring you, and it's something that you won't understand till you're there. You know, you lose your family, you lose your loved one, you lose your kids, and they're there, but they're not seeing you, and things that happened back then, when I was past, are coming true. Like, and I'm thinking to myself, are they visions? I mean, there's so much that I want to get out, but there's so much I want to tell, but it's not my live stream, so it's just talking about Toby. But I mean, it's very emotional, guys, and it's something that I say, get right. I want to say get right by God, but get right to that upper power that you believe in. Because when that time comes, you're gonna live. You're gonna live the way you live. You know what I mean? Like, it's like sort of like you're gonna make your own heaven. You're gonna make your own hell. That's what I think, honestly. Like, I mean, that's all I'm gonna say. So can't say much.
Well, thank you for sharing it with us.
That was emotional. That kind of teared me up a little bit.
It's honestly like when you're past, it's a whole different story. Like, I mean, you're being shoved everywhere. Your own loved ones are killing you. There's a doctor always putting stuff down your body, or there's a brain surgery you're going on, and you end up in different places. You end up with this lady, trying to kill you, or it was just hell after hell after hell. Some people are trying to help you and comfort you during days, and there's times where it's just chaos. It's something that I can't explain enough. Like, I mean, to me, heaven's real. I mean, hell's real. I mean, there's so much I could tell you about that, but it's something that, God, it's something. God, when you hear that man's voice, it's like, thank you for giving me that second chance, because I'm with these fine people right now, telling you, life is good. Don't let it pass you by. You do what you love out there, just like Toby. You do what you love. Don't let no one tell you differently. Okay?
Exactly.
And Sean, I got you. I seen you, buddy. Anytime you're ready to come up our way, come on. Salute, Bub and the boys. Corey, how you doing?
Oh, guys, I didn't make another channel. I can't. I'm still trying to log into my other channel. I got plenty of live streams, but I'm trying to. I'm almost monetized my other channel. Now I got to start over now, and I'm just like, it's annoying.
He'll get back into it. He'll get back into it.
No matter what, I'll always bounce back. Nothing's gonna knock me down ever. But back to you, Toby. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
So is there anything that you would like to tell everybody that's left in the chat? Anything about you to deter them to your page? Because you're going to get subscribers, people's going to watch your stuff. Because to me, you're interesting. I've seen a couple of your videos, and I myself would like to get the chance to collab with you and MJ.
I would be definitely honored, and that goes for anybody else in here. I'm willing to collaborate with all of them if I can get up that way, because travel and stuff. But see you later, Sam.
See you, Sam.
Bye, Sam. Is there anything?
Yeah.
Is there anything that anybody would like to ask Toby? Now is the time to ask him if you would like to know anything about him or any questions for him. He could see the chat, so you pop that question up. You'll see it.
How about haunted dolls, dude?
I could have told you no on that one.
I'm sorry. Hey, I'm full of surprises, guys. Okay, you know me.
Yeah, I don't like them. I think again that they're either negative or positive spirits that are trapped inside dolls. And I think it's creepy as hell. Why would you pick a doll to be lived in? It's like a genie in a bottle. Why would you do?
Because it's just like you say. They love that doll so much, or they love the person that passed on, so they're thinking that doll reminds me of that loved one. Man, you never know.
I don't get it, but I don't do them.
God, stay away, clowns.
You stay in the corner. Clowns, hell no. I don't do clowns. I don't like clowns when they're living. So I just no.
David, you stole me interview.
But I'm being very honest. I think they're creepy. Now it doesn't mean that I won't go over there and investigate them, but as far as picking them up and stuff like that, no, not happening. Because that's just extra trouble. Yep. But I want to tell everybody, if you like, my channel's a little bit different. You usually have YouTubers, some of them, that like to use rap music in their intros. Mine is power metal. I do a DJ. I'm a DJ with my future wife here, Lori. We do a power metal show on Metal Messiah Radio. We're DJs, and we do power metal. So we get a lot of promos from bands that are independent, and they want to share their music. So they send it to me. I put it in my intros and outros on my video. So if you like that kind of thing, come check it out. I think you'll dig it.
I got you on Twitter, don't I, Toby?
What's that?
I got you on Twitter, right? I'm sorry, Brenda.
Yeah,
I'll say hi to people coming.
Yeah, I gotta check it out. Did you got a link to that on your? I think I know I do.
Yeah, it's our show is called Power Slaves.
Okay, I'll check it out, man. If you have it up there on Twitter, you can send it to my. So I'll check it out if you want to send a message or link or whatever you say.
I have seen that. I watched like one or two of the videos or something that's up. I have heard of them.
I got a question because I know I haven't seen a lot of your videos. I've seen like 4 of them. Not gonna lie. So, have you been to a haunted cave or a church or something like that? I want to ask about churches if you have.
No, we have not done any of those yet, or I haven't. There is one church I got my eye on. That's in North Carolina. But the story goes that someone got murdered there behind the church, and that spirit haunts that church today.
Well, see, that's a question right there. Okay, I know a church is a sanctuary. Well, back then it was, Right. So how can God allow something like that? I mean, something like that, or is this something that just happened. Like, I mean, like you go in there, everybody goes to church to pray and serve God and everything, but something bad happens.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, why would you want to haunt a church? And is it still up,
I think
going? And
I think what happens is something like that is so traumatic to the person that those energies are stuck there. There's nowhere for them to go. It's like a limbo. Something happened to them, like a murder or violently crime that happened. That's happened there. They can't get out. It's like it almost reminds me of a toy that I used to have when I was a kid. They stick to the wall, throw them and stick to the wall, and they spiral down. They're stuck. They can't get. It's like Velcro. They can't get all out of there.
it's sort of like a sanctuary to them too.
Yeah, it's almost like that, but
It's,
I don't know. I don't know if it's for me. I think it's more of a negative than a positive.
See, this is, I mean, yeah, I know that they dislike the things that people done to them, like murder them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
It's
I mean,
the act. It's the act of what happened.
yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's not. It's not the person. The person being murdered. They just got murdered, and they didn't do anything really to cause that. They're stuck in the middle of something. Something tragic. Somebody goes off the bridge, gets in a car accident. There's a ghost on the bridge. Something tragic that happened there. A school bus goes off the bridge. Same thing. It's an unanswered question to a lot of people.
Haunted cars too. I mean, in caves and and freak, man, I can name so many, like castles and all the other good stuff. I mean, and it's just the noises. Like, I mean, I understand, like, a house or a castle or whatever. It's a sponge. The house or whatever is a sponge, and they collect all the energy and all the cries and all the footsteps and all the killings. And when you go in there, you hear that it's stuck in space. It's stuck in that environment. But what I want to know, I know Jack just told me about a house that everybody sees or something. I can't remember. I wish Jack was up here to explain it. But I want to know is, let's say if, oh man, Jack cut my first set. Tried to explain that one. But I'll let her. I don't know. But what I want to know is when, okay, let's say, is it possible for if someone passes away, and let's say they love this house so much that people that are living can actually see the house appear in that same spot? Is that possible?
I believe so. Yeah. It's like pirate ships. There are people that see those come out midday, and they can't explain where the hell it came from, but yet they see it and then it disappears again. So I think it all has to do with energy. Okay, energy in general. You got energy that is in a church. You got energy that's all around you. Water, air, fire. All has to do with energy. And the more energy that's involved, the more paranormal stuff you're going to see.
I'm going to tell you the best time to go ghost hunting is after a thunderstorm or during a thunderstorm.
Yep.
Because that amps them up.
Yeah.
That gives them all the energy they need to get them charged.
Yeah, exactly. It's a charging station.
They're right.
Yeah. But
I think Jax is trying to come in.
Oh, okay.
I think if she can come up.
I was watching something on TV the other day, and I forget what channel it was, but anyway, these people have experienced that they walk through a forest, and they get to like the end of the forest and fog clears, and there's like a house that's there that was never there before. Mm-hmm. It just appears, and then it disappears. So I don't know. I don't know if houses can do that, but then again, houses are an energy. People have lived in it, so why couldn't it?
Yeah. Like I said, I believe it all has to do with energy. Even the forest has energy.
Trees are alive.
Trees are alive.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah,
gotta,
I can't remember what I saw it on, what channel it was on. One of those, like, those top 10 haunted things or something like that, the top 15. But people, it's somewhere across overseas, it's somewhere like in London or somewhere like that.
Mhm.
But they walk across this, they're in this forest, and it just, the house disappears. And then the fog rolls out back in, the house disappears. It's the freakiest thing, they say.
Yeah, I believe that happened too. I really do. I mean, it's like people, spirits. Sometimes people see them on the side of the road walking. It's like a normal person. You give them a ride, and they're not there.
Huh?
Lydia's Bridge.
It's like
My next
the
video.
hitchhikers.
Oh, we did
It's like those
Lydia's Bridge.
people that hitchhike and they get in people's cars and they drop them off of where they're supposed to be going.
Exactly.
The person that picks them up swears God it's a person in that car, but then you come alongside the road again and you find out, wait a minute, that person passed a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really exciting to some of us would be, but probably traumatized to somebody else.
Oh yeah.
Like, I know that was a human in my car at one point in time it was alive, yeah. But I guess it depends on the energy it puts out.
I think so. I mean, a lot of people, I get people telling me from one story to the next that how that comes about is that they're not only that they're stuck doing that, but that's their type of hell. They're recurring it over and over. It's like excuse the word because I don't want to trigger anybody, but the word suicide. If someone commits suicide, and knowing that that's a no-no, some people think that that's your hell is that reoccurring suicide, doing over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Right.
If that's true, I would definitely believe that is a hell because I wouldn't want to go through nothing like that. Mm-mm. So we just got to just keep your mind open to all these things. I mean, if you have a closed mind, you're going to have a real hard time, especially in the paranormal world, because there's a lot of shit that you just can't explain. It just happens. So, but as far as like everybody's talking about churches and stuff, I just believe it's the energy that's involved in the area.
Well, there's a church that we want to take you to if you ever come our way to collab with us.
Sure.
I think Billy's talked to you about it. It's called St. Barnabas.
I have heard of that.
That place is creepy. The church alone will be enough to give you the heebie-jeebies. We've had books thrown. We've heard footsteps, piano played, and those pianos are locked up in that church.
That's interesting.
Orbs everywhere. They set the cat balls off.
Oh man.
And there's a shadow man. The story behind that place is that two young people. The woman died of a disease that killed her, and then he died. I think a couple of years later or something like that of a broken heart.
Oh,
And
wow.
she sits and kneels at the grave, and he's right back behind her. If he sees you, like you're supposed to run around a church 10 times. If you see him and he sees you, he'll chase you out of the graveyard. And there is a shadow man out there that you can hear. You can completely hear walking around you the whole time you're out there on that one side of the church where the tower is.
I'm not for that.
Every time we go out there, we hear it. Every time. I was like, babe, do you hear that? And he was like, yeah. Every time we go out there, it's crazy. That place is crazy. That's where we're going to take Jax. St. Barnabas.
I'm up for it.
Yep. It's definitely creepy. It definitely give you a chill factor. That's for sure.
Sweet. I'll definitely do that. Did you want to say something, Eli?
Oh yeah, I always have something to say. You know what I mean? Like, it's sort of like, I mean, have you ever talking about, um Barnabas? I can't really say, it, but I'm sorry,
Saint
but
Barnabas.
St. Barnabas. Like
Uh-huh.
when you go in there, because I mean, I know some places are in, like are messed up, like with graffiti and stuff like that. Have you ever experienced any um, um like symbols of Satanism, like candles?
I haven't dealt with that before yet. But other than the normal rocket ship stuff going up on the walls, but no pentagrams, or maybe one pentagram. But I think kids do that just to be funny, to be sarcastic. Um, but if I did, and I do know some of those symbols, if I did, I'd be like, okay, something's been happening here. It shouldn't be happening here, and just be on the lookout. I'd still investigate it regardless.
But a lot of people say they have weird feelings about it, or
Mhm.
like attachments,
Right.
because they just want to go over there and mess with and touch everything.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's safe just to leave it alone.
Yeah.
Don't
I
take a
would.
picture home. Do
Yeah.
not take pictures. I always
Yeah.
say if you do, something could be attached to that picture.
Exactly. Yeah, I wouldn't mess with any of it. If you had candles laying on the ground, things of that nature, I leave it alone. You don't know what they did. You don't know what went on there. Don't involve yourself. It's just safer that way. Use your skull. And if you see something that's out of place, don't f with it.
I try to stay connected. My damn internet hates me. I swear it hates me.
Well, damn it to hell.
Ron hates me. Just kidding.
It does. You know what? You know what? Brenda, I'm going to be like you. I'm going to go on Wednesdays and Fridays. I'm going to get the hell out of this house and go somewhere else, do my interviews so it's flawless. That's it. Done with this shit here.
Go out there where
Thank
there's
you,
fire.
Eli,
See, you
for
don't have
staying
that
up with
problem.
me. I love you, Lori.
Is your room haunted?
Is my room haunted? No. We have protection here.
Okay.
So see, the spirit that's around him, I'm not getting a bad feeling. It's
I'm not
it's
either.
somebody near and dear to him. I can tell you that much.
Yeah. Well, I've had two brothers pass away recently, and like I said, my past wife, she passed away. So there's been about 3 deaths in the family and stuff like that. So that's kind of weird. Let me bring this up real quick of how spirits work. When my brother Ronnie passed away, no one called me until later, and I found out. I knew that he passed on because the connection between brothers. You ever heard of that?
I have.
Yeah. So you feel something, I want to say, like just detach away from you. You know it happens before it happens. And I knew that my brother passed away before my sister called me and told me that, hey, Ronnie passed away in his sleep. So it's the strangest feeling. I never can really explain it to anybody unless it happens to you. That feeling of someone passing away that you really, that you love so much, it's a feeling of like losing your best friend, and you feel it, and that to me is how, like, when I go and investigate, and all these spirits are wandering around, they're lost, they want you to help them. That's the way I feel. It's like you lost a loved one. They've lost people.
Do you have people coming to you in your dreams,
Yeah,
talking to you?
all the
Feel
time.
that.
Yeah, I have very vivid dreams of all kinds of stuff. I mean, I can go into detail, but that would take all night long, and I know I don't have time for that, or neither do you. But, I don't know, everybody, my father's told me, my mother mostly has told me that I have a gift of, what is it, dream walking. You too?
Yep.
Yeah, and I didn't know what it was until it was explained to me later in life, and I'm like, well, that's incredible. 'Cause- so I just deal with it one day at a time. I'm like, okay, where are we gonna walk to now? But
That'll
anyway,
be something interesting to have up on your channel eventually, Eli. Talking about dream walking and
Oh
have
yeah,
Toby
if
back
you
up on your
want, yeah,
channel.
yeah. I could talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk.
oh, yeah,
Better get ready. My interviews last 4 hours. But I'm an interesting guy. I want to know. I'm still interested.
but
This has been an amazing interview.
yeah, I appreciate y'all having me here. I mean, that's really special. I'm really honored with that. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. We try to support everybody, people upcoming and
Oh,
people
yeah.
we want to get to know ourselves because we watch. People might not think we're watching, but we're watching.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
watching. Definitely.
You can definitely keep watching my shows because it's going to keep going the way it is now.
No, well, I mean, you've got a good channel going. You've
Yeah,
definitely
man,
got what it takes. Definitely got
enjoy
what
it.
it takes
Thank
to
you.
to make it. You do. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep experiment with
Yeah.
different things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen to your thoughts. Listen to what's going on in your head. Listen to everything when you're out there, because it's gonna tell you everything you need to know. If you just listen, just block everything else out and just listen.
Okay.
And I think a lot of your senses, if you are more sensitive than what you know, I think a lot of things are going to come out to you. I think you're gonna being out ghost hunting. I think is going to bring a lot of things out of you that you didn't know that you could do. That's what we try to tell Eli too. Eli's got it too. It's just he's got to open up his mind. And being a dream walker, and just like Eli is, being a dream walker, you still have a sensitivity to ghosts.
I do.
And there's more there, Toby. You just gotta open up your mind to it. You have what it takes to be able to hear the ghost talking to you, you can already feel stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You have it. You just gotta open your mind.
Yeah.
And that's what it takes to be a truthful ghost hunter.
I agree.
And have faith in yourself, and open your soul to it too, because that shows that the spirits can actually, rely on you to pass on that message to that loved one.
And that's why I'm here.
It's your journey that inspires us. I'm talking about the paranormal investigators, me, to keep on going so we can learn a lot, especially from you, Toby.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're very welcome.
Thank you for letting us, follow your journey. And, thank you. I appreciate that. That really gave me some inspiration.
Well, you're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All of you that's watching this, you inspire me to do what I'm doing. I mean, just to hear everyone share their stories and to go out there and explore and see what's out in the world and what's the unexplained, and keep your heart that this is something you have a passion for, because you want answers just as much as anybody else. So I appreciate that. That gives me courage to do it even more. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
You're more than welcome, and you're more than welcome to come up on any of our panels if you want to pop up on Hog Paranormal or even my Bigfoot panel. You just say the word, and the link is yours. This is, you're legit, and we love that about you.
Well,
Don't quit doing what you're doing, Toby.
No, I won't be. I won't be quitting no time soon.
You got the passion for it, and I can feel it coming. I can feel the vibes coming from you. You hit the passion. You got the passion for paranormal, for ghost hunting. to find out what that other side is like. And that's another thing, what it takes to be a paranormal investigator.
Well,
It's your
thank you.
passion.
I do have the passion. I do. Lord can tell you.
Yeah, he certainly does.
Well, is she going to be able to come back, or is it just going to keep there spinning? Because she's going to have to be the one to close this down. We can't.
Close it down. I got a pizza in the oven. Just kidding.
Eli got your pizza coming, buddy.
No,
I can't wait till he can start eating pizza again. We're going to have a big old pizza party
I
online.
can't. I wish.
Are you done with pizza completely, Eli? You can't have pizza ever again? Or is
It just hurts. Like it's still soft. You know what I mean? It's still healing.
okay.
So it's hard with the crust and the I mean, I can eat anytime. It really has to be like I get to chew really well, and you know, it's a struggle, but yeah, I mean, yeah.
Well,
Jax.
ground control to Major Tom.
We're waiting for her.
She's trying. You could tell she's trying, but it's not her. It's her internet.
Yeah, I get it.
Well, tell something else. Tell something else about your channel. Tell something about another one of your journeys that you've been out doing.
How about the ball farm?
Oh, I'll tell you about the ball farm. Ball farm was I thought it was going to be a paranormal investigation. It turned out to be a historical investigation. I met the gentleman out there who owned this farm, and it's just a farm. It's a farmhouse that's just sitting out in the middle of nowhere in Thomasville, wide open. You go in it, you go into the house. He owns it. He grew up in this house as a kid, and he still owns it today, and it's still there. And I got to talk to the gentleman, Mr. Ball, and I told him, I said, I do YouTube, and I usually do paranormal, historical kind of shows, and he would start talking about his childhood in this home, and it used to be a boating place back in, I think it was, I can't remember what date he told me. It was real early in his childhood. It was a boating place, and I had all that information on there if you want to watch it, but he was telling me about his little childhood as being in this house, and his daddy had built it, and he had built the house over across the street, and they had made a farm out of it and rode vegetables from across the road to the back of the house to the side of the road they own. There's a road right there called Ball Road, and it goes all the way down, and they own all that property there. So we had a little discussion, and I told him how much I appreciated the house and how beautiful it was, because even though it was old, it was very beautiful.
Right.
You got to know how people lived back then. He says, "Oh, just go ahead and take pictures and go inside." And nicest gentleman you can ever meet. I mean, he is a sweet little gentleman, you know. And as me, I'm getting older, so you know, I'm thinking, "Oh, I'm going to be there someday." I like people to know I'm just as sweet as the guy as he is. So I went over, me and Mason took pictures. He gets some thumbnails. I went even further. I made a whole video of it. I went around the house and told a little bit about the history of the house, and just to let people know, hey, not everything doesn't have to be paranormal to be beautiful.
That's true.
So it just kind of gives people a little insight that, hey, it doesn't have to be paranormal.
Yep.
It can be something that you can learn how people lived back then and how they appreciated things back then than they do now.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that video. I mean, I really put my heart and soul into that, and I'm sticking to it because that's things like that are just beautiful to me. I could see an old house on the side of the road, wonder what happened to the people there. What's the history?
You know, I always think like you go into the kitchen, you're like, I wonder how many dinners were served here breakfasts, you know,
Yeah,
Christmases, you know,
yeah,
or maybe like deaths here, or maybe how many births were, you know, born here. Because back then, you know, they used to do like home births, you know, because hospitals weren't that technology wise, whatever, like way back then. And I mean, I wonder if there's any, you know, food fight stains on the kitchen or something. Like, I mean, I wonder if there's, you know, like the smell of that food stuck on the wall, where,
yeah.
you know, I mean, it's amazing what
Mhm.
you can actually think of. I mean, isn't life so good where, you know, you can actually, like, you know, feel that energy and be like, wow, you know, what, no matter what you feel, thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you for letting us experience that, because that's just a lovely experience that is given to me so I can remember from days on and days on.
right.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I mean, I've done other videos too, like, me and Lauren go to the garden here in Greensboro or parks. And people just they can care less about it, but to me, it shows a part of, like, I'm not a real serious guy. I love going to doing small things and enjoying life, because I'm not going to live forever. I want to enjoy things while I'm living and tried my best to remember them afterwards. I love life, and I think everybody should have that little piece of enjoyment in life. So I make videos that say, "Hey, I'm human, human like the rest of the people." Let me show you what I do on my off time, kind of thing. Like the zoo. I love the zoo. I film the zoo. So I love the animals. I love to watch, and I make jokes. You can ask anybody when you watch the video. I have a zoo up there. You see that I make jokes, goof around. I'm a real laid back, easy kind of guy. I just love to laugh.
You're a nerd.
Hush. Call me But I love just being me. I mean, that's just the way I am. Accept me or don't. I mean, that's just the way the ball bounces. But
That's how I feel too.
I like being real. I like having a good time.
So, Mary,
I don't think everything has to be serious all the time. I mean, there are times where it needs to be serious, especially with cheers thrown at you. But
Yeah.
but there are times where, hey, crack a joke, make it a little
exactly.
know,
That's what I would do.
yeah. It's just you know,
Because if you always,
me and my partner Mason, we do it all the time. We're guys, okay? We're gonna make
yeah.
jokes.
Mhm.
He's a nerd too.
He's a nerd too, just like me. But we do goofy things like fold up an airplane, the paper's sitting there, and just throw it at each other, things like that. But make it fun, because you got to make it fun sometimes. Because if you get too serious in the middle of an investigation, it gets to be boring
and
Yeah.
dangerous too. Because
and dangerous.
you're
So
constantly thinking, "Oh my God, I wonder how many people died here." And then the
yeah,
negativity is spirits are gonna think negative, and you're in deep trouble. Why not have fun with it? Why not crack a joke and say,
exactly.
"I wonder how many people had sex in there"? Like,
Exactly.
you know, really, you gotta have some fun, you know.
Yeah. So that's just me. I mean, you'll see if you collab with me, you'll see that I'm very quiet,
Yeah,
but yet I'm listening. I
yeah,
listen a lot, but I like joking around.
yeah.
Now, if you're seriously involved into a spirit box session, I'm gonna go in and mess with your session or anything. I wait till you get done. Then I crack a joke. Make it interesting. Hey, what did they say to you? Did they tell you you got bowel problems, or you got cracked farts? What? Just make it jokeable. No matter how your humor is, just make it a little bit enjoyable. That's all I got, and that's what I do.
We like to have fun too. I mean, me and Hawk. I mean, we're always picking on each other all throughout our investigations, and Bigfoot and ghost. It's all a part of having fun, and I think it's the reason what draws the crowd in too, because we're taking something like, especially Bigfoot hunting. That's serious. You don't never know when these things are gonna throw something at you. I always say that these things could go out for the New York Yankees. And they got a run on them. So,
home run,
right? But I mean, even being out there doing that, we're out there, we're having fun, we're doing what we love to do. Now, Bigfoot is more my thing.
Right.
Babe would more or less do the paranormal, but I went for the more dangerous stuff and went after Bigfoot. But we still have fun doing it. We still have a good time doing it, and that's what makes us want to keep going back.
Well, can I make a suggestion? And this is a joke.
Okay.
So next time you go Bigfoot hunting, bring some jack links with you. Every time you throw rocks, you can throw the jack links back.
I'm gonna go out there and cook me some fish and bacon. That way I can draw them in better.
Or you can throw Snickers at them.
Grab a Snickers.
Not yourself when you're hungry.
Right. But it's all about having fun. But like I said, there is times to be serious about it, and everybody knows that. When you got things flying at you, that's okay. Fun's over. Let's figure out what's going on, or let's get the hell out of here. One of the two.
Exactly.
So, yeah. But I don't know how this stream is going to close down without Jax up here. I would say that we more or less just leave, and she might be able to close it down.
Okay.
But Toby, anytime you come pop in our chats, please feel free. Say, can I get a link, and we will bring you up.
Okay.
Hawk and I would love to have you up on our panel too, to let some more people get to know you, and you'll probably see Jackson, Eli up there, because that's all one of our circle. We're all circle. Yeah. And welcome to our circle. Welcome to our circle.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
But again, this has been an amazing. Thank you so much for being here.
You're very welcome, and thank you for having me.
All right. Everybody in chat. Well, here comes Jax.
Stay positive, guys.
Maybe. Here she is.
Boom.
There she is.
Thank you, Toby, for coming. I appreciate you so much.
All right, thank you very much for the opportunity, Jax, and I definitely would love to come back.
Thank you, Eli. Thank you.
Just get up with us. Let us know. Either me or Jax. We'll set you up.
Okay, will do. All right, thank you again. Everybody have a good night.
Bye, everybody. Thank you, everybody in the chat.
Stay positive.